All right, hello. Today I'm going to be going over a quick demonstration of a prototype of my senior project, which my project is called Professor AI. So the simple idea is that this is a Django web application which allows a student or user to learn how to code through Python. Um, and they will get to do this by working with an AI tutor. So this tutor will be providing them with small lessons and problems to be able to learn how to code. So the main central idea of this web app will be that you'll be able to um, code yourself and get practice doing that while getting the active feedback from the professor. So let's go ahead and run this. So I'm going to call my Python script to start this. So, and then let's go and open it up. So if we refresh this, we should be live now. Okay. So first off, right off the bat, you can see MongoDB is my database in the backend, and it is successfully storing all this information. So when you open the page, it remembers the most recent information going on here, as well as the code that you've been writing in here. So let's focus here on the code editor first. As you can see really quick, the last problem that I did was trying to make a simple calculator. So you can see that's what I did here. So we can run this code. So I can calculate 1 divided by 5 here, 2, and of course we can change the operator since that's what this function was all about. And so yeah, so this is fully functional Python code. If we were to refresh this page, run it again, that's still there. So it's all getting stored and then accessed from the database. Um, so the submit button though is going to be in response to our AI's prompts. So let's get one of those. So I'm ready to get a coding challenge. So I'm just going to click this. So this is what's going to send it to our um, Open AI API. So let's see. We're going to be making a function to check even or odd, it looks like. Okay. So you can see that the AI generated a typical style coding problem with an overview, an example. And then I told it to include this where if there's ever new concepts, which we haven't learned before, it'll talk about them briefly here. And I'd like to have in the future to be able to easily ask questions or even click on things to get further information about this. But for this prototype, this is all we've got here as far as the teaching. Um, but here it's telling us about the modulus operator since it knows that's going to be a key part of this. So let's just do this really quick. I'm going to make sure everything is working here. Let's just print hello world. Okay, that's looking good. So let's just make a quick function here, even or odd. Um, um, there's a lot of quality of life changes that will need to be made with this code editor. For example, tab by default in the browser goes to the next thing. So I have to make everything with spaces. I'll be working on that pretty soon. Um, so let's just do if uh, is divisible by 2, turn even, else turn odd. Okay. And then I'm just going to test that out here. Let's put 5 in there. Make sure that we're good. Okay. And that's an odd number. Let's check with an 8. Okay. So I think we're good to go. I guess for the sake of this, let's also see what would happen if we failed this. So maybe I'll change this to a 3. Throw this off a little bit. So rather than checking whether it's even, we're checking if it's divisible by 3. So let's submit that and see if the AI can figure out what the problem is there. Okay, so first off, it knows that's an incorrect solution. It's telling us we need to try this again. And it can even tell us, yes, we're checking if it's divisible by 3. We need to be checking if it's divisible by 2 to tell it it's even. Um, oh, interesting. So this professor is very nitpicky. He even wants this to be specifically capitalized. Okay, well, I can do that. So let's update that, make it just how he wants it. Okay. And let's run it just to make sure. Yep, that says it's even. Okay, let's try submitting now. There you go. Okay, so he was able to tell that solved successfully. Um, and then he also tries to give any feedback that he has on how it could be improved. Um, so yeah, he's just letting me know you could combine this into one line if you wanted to make it a little more concise. So there you go. So he gives just a little bit of feedback, which obviously with something a little more complicated, the feedback could be a lot more valuable. And so there you go. So this is the prototype so far. There's plenty of bells and whistles that will need to be added, like the tab thing that I mentioned. I'd like to be able to have a chat box so that you can ask questions for clarification, or just to get a little bit of help with a specific concept in the problem. But yeah, as far as the main part of this editor and the problem and getting feedback, all of that is working now. And once again, if we wanted to, we can leave the page, come back, all of this stays here, which is pretty cool. So that's the state of the project so far.